Hey guys, it's Sarah. So today I look like my soul. Black. Empty. Today I am going to be doing my collective haul for April, May, and the beginning of June. I have so many freaking books here. A lot of them are ARCs, the rest are from Book Outlet, and 2 of them were purchased from Amazon. So first I'm going to get onto all the books that were sent to me, and then I'm going to go into the books that I bought myself. Okay, so the first 5 books were sent to me via the Booktube Tours. And for those of you guys who don't know, the Booktube Tours are hosted by Grace over at Loving Dem Books. And the whole thing is that if you are a booktuber, you sign up for different tours, and if you get chosen, you get sent a book. Totally awesome. I'll just show you the books that I have here, and some of them do already have reviews up. So first here I have The Neverland Wars by Audrey Greathouse. I wasn't supposed to get this book, it was a mistake. The publisher sent it to me accidentally, but hey, why not? Obviously it's a Peter Pan retelling. Next we have Deception Island by Brynne Kelly. My review is going to be going up on June 14th. I just like keep sticky notes on them just to kind of remind myself. This is a adult contemporary adventure romance story about a guy who kidnaps an heiress, but he accidentally kidnaps the wrong girl, and so people are chasing them and they have to escape, and then essentially they get to know each other during these weird circumstances. Cool. Next we have Sleepless in Manhattan by Sarah Morgan. I have a review for this up already. It is down below, but it's just like a contemporary story set in Manhattan about a woman finding love in between work busy stuff. Next we have The Alpha Drive by Kristen Martin, and I also have a review for this one already up, and it is so good. This one is a dystopian story. It's like a YA Matrix sort of thing where a girl finds out that her reality isn't actually reality. She's like in this weird kind of virtual reality and her body's in a coma, and it's really exciting. Okay, so lastly for the Booktube Tours books, I also have Dating an Alien Pop Star by Kendra L. Saunders. I have just started this one on page 40. This story is about a 29-year-old lady who is kidnapped by aliens, but it's kind of like a fluffy light read about aliens, and it's been compared to the Lux series. Okay, so the next 3 books were sent to me by Blink Publishing. This is like one of the most exciting ones, and it is Forever Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. This is the 4th and final book in the Dune series. As you can see here, I have the first 3. I am a big fan of this series. Just like randomly, I sent them an email being like, can I have an arc? Please! I will review it and love it. Yeah. Then a few days after that, I received Guilt Hollow in the mail, and this is Lori Langdon's other book that she's coming out with soon, and Lori Langdon of course is one of the authors of the Destined for Dune series. I didn't ask for it, they just like sent it to me, and I was like, oh shit, yeah. I guess this is like a YA thriller story, which is you really don't see that often. So the main girl, she has a best friend who is a convicted killer, but he comes back and he's like trying to clear his name after he gets released from like juvie or something, and it's just like the adventures of them. It's like a thriller story, that's all I really know. I didn't want to look up too much of the information because I don't want to give myself any spoilers, but oh, okay. And then like yesterday I like randomly checked the mail and there was another book from them, so I think I must be on like a list now, which is like so crazy to me. But that's Unfolding, a novel by Jonathan Friesen. But I guess this is like a story that seems really interesting. It's like a contemporary dealing with medical issues. So the main character is a boy named Jonah, and he suffers from epileptic seizures. He has like a crush on a girl, but I guess apparently this story is focusing a lot on mental health and physical disabilities, and for someone that deals with an invisible disease, aka type 1 diabetes, I just like have been looking for more kind of YA books that dealt with medical things, you know? But yeah, so I'm really excited to read this. Okay, and so the next books that were sent to me were from Penguin Random House Canada. I have 9 books, and oh my god, 2 of them are so exciting. Okay, so the first one I got, I'm so freaking excited for. Not only is it hardcover, but it is like a really anticipated book, and that is The Girls by Emma Cline. So this story is like a cult story, kind of based on like the Manson killings like in the 60s. So it's set in the 60s, and we have the main character who gets swept up into a cult. So I've had my eye on this book for quite a while. I remember like kind of reading about it when it was like serial killer, like culty books. But yeah, so essentially it's like they live on this cult farm, and then things go catastrophically wrong. So I'm assuming there's some sort of crime, murder, I don't really know. I don't want to look too much into it because I am so pumped for this book. I'm so excited for this book. See, like, I'm a really morbid person and I really enjoy reading about macabre things. So cultish serial killings, or is what I'm assuming this is about. Cultish things. Yes, please. So the other hardcover book that they sent me this month, oh my god, I'm so excited for this. This is The Boy at the Top of the Mountain by John Boyne. He is the author of The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. I haven't read it, but I've seen the movie. And this is another like Nazi story about a young boy who gets sent to work with some family members. So he is sent to work in the Berghof, which was Hitler's like, I want to say lair, because he's such like an evil character of reality. But so we have this young boy who essentially grows up surrounded by Nazis, and apparently he goes through a ton of character development where he starts taking on these Nazi ideologies and just like shows how easy it is for people to get swept up in that kind of group mentality. I love reading about World War II stuff. It's just completely fascinating to me, so I am absolutely gonna be reading this so very soon. But yes. Okay, so next here we have Julia Vanishes by Katherine Egan. And when I first saw this, I really didn't know what it was about, but this is a YA fantasy paranormal. It looks like an adult novel, right? So the main character, Julia, she lives in a town that has banned all forms of magic, and she is magic. Essentially, she can make herself unseen. She doesn't go invisible. She can make it so people just don't notice her, sort of thing, so she like dodges their notice. So she's a thief, of course, because that's what you do when you have such a power. But yeah, so she's a thief and then a spy, and so she does all these crazy shenanigans, but then she learns something and it shakes everything up and everything is crazy. Next we have one that I'm super pumped for, and I was supposed to read on my vacation, but I did not because I got hung up on Game of Thrones, but that is Yiddish for Pirates by Gary Barwin. This book is so weird, and you can tell I like totally just messed it up. It's just like an adult fiction novel. It's set in 1492, and essentially it's about Jewish pirates that just swashbuckle around. They go around Spain. They team up with a bunch of hidden Jews during the Spanish Inquisition, and it's just like apparently really interesting. But anyway, so this book just seems completely fascinating, and as soon as I'm done, I'm lending it to my grandpa because he saw it and he's like, that sounds amazing. So I'm just like totally excited to read about this. Next here we have The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. This is the first book in Rochelle Mead's new series, and I have read this, and there should be a review coming up very, very soon. This book is about a high-class lady who has run out of money, and so her grandma is setting her up in an arranged marriage to get some more dollar bills. She's not about that life. So she runs away to this thing called the Glittering Court, where she impersonates one of her maids. It's just like this big adventure of sending all these chicks to this new world in order for them to be like mail order brides. So yeah, I really like this book. The second half was like super exciting. Like once they get to the new world, there's just like this explosion of just like religious differences and like social differences, and just like I enjoyed. Next we have Everyone Brave is Forgotten by Chris Cleave. Obviously this book is very unfinished. It's just got like a cool quote. So this book is another World War II book. I just like am fascinated by World War II and World War I. But so it's just kind of like looking at life during the war for civilians. So we follow a bunch of different characters that are like maybe not directly involved with the war, but they are like left behind in their European town. But essentially it's just like a love story that is set in World War II. Yeah, so I'm just very interested to see what this book has to offer. Next here we have The Voodoo Killings by Christy Cherish. This one looks hilarious, and I'm so freaking stoked for this. So apparently it's about a lady who is a voodoo practitioner, and it's just like one of those snarky adult stories. This sassy 20-something-year-old woman who's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, but apparently she teams up with an unauthorized zombie who was created for some purpose, and they are solving a mystery together in sassy Seattle. But it just like seems so very interesting. It's just like one of those quirky adult paranormal fantasy urban fantasy stories. Next here we have My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. So Grady Hendrix, he actually was the writer for the novel Horror Store. I don't know if you guys remember that book, but apparently this one is set up to be a 1980s yearbook, and it's like set in the 80s, and it's just like this group of teens realize that one of their friends might be possessed by a demon and they might need to have an exorcism, and it just seems so hilarious. On the back it says, a heartwarming tale of friendship and demonic possession. Like, if that doesn't sound amazing, like I love these kind of like hilarious horror comedy books, if you know what I mean. Like, oh, it's just like so great. Next here we have The Woman in the Photo by Mary Hogan. I actually got this from HarperCollins. I emailed the publisher and I was like, can I read this book please? Because it sounds phenomenal. It is kind of a weird combination of the past and the present. So we have like an orphan girl trying to connect to her roots, and then she like learns about one of her ancestors from the 1800s, and so then from there the story like goes into, so we start learning about this ancestor and we start learning about the main character as like the main character in present time learns about her history and like comes to terms with like her family's past. I'm just really excited to read this because I love historical fiction and I love this kind of like juxtaposition of like the new and the old, and it's just like so great. So yeah. So for the last arc I got Sophie Quire and the Last Story Guard by Jonathan Auxier. The reason I asked to receive this book was because Jonathan Auxier wrote The Night Gardener, and The Night Gardener is so amazing. It is this fantastic kind of horror middle grade story, and I loved it so much so that I just wanted to read something else by him. So this is actually the second book in a series, but apparently you don't need to read the first one to read this one, so I don't think I'm going to just yet. It's about a little girl named Sophie who works as a bookmender in her father's bookshop, and so then she is just doing her dull, boring life when Peter Nimble, the protagonist from the first book of the series, comes to her with his talking cat horse companion. They show up with a rare and mysterious book and they need her help, so she joins them on this fantastical adventure. So it's just like a really interesting middle grade story, and I'm just like so freaking stoked, and I just like love how all these books are set up just like visually. It's just so pretty. Okay, so next I got two books from Abe Books, and the first one I'm really disappointed about. Not that it's Abe Books' fault. Abe Books is essentially like an eBay for books where sellers will put up things on the website and they sell it. I got The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, but when I purchased it, I made sure that the copy that I was buying was listed as the condition being very good. Very, very good. This condition of this book is just really bad, so I'm really kind of bummed about it. It's kind of weird though. There's like a little stamp in the front and it says Birkenhead Sixth Form College. So like that's kind of cool, I guess. But I did only pay like $3, so it's not like the end of the world. But I mean, I did really want to just read this book because apparently it is a fantastic dystopian story about women who are taken for baby making purposes. Then also from the same seller, I got this gorgeous edition of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is the vintage classic edition, I believe. But so the edges of the paper is black. It's just like really cool. But once again, this book was said to be in very good condition. It's definitely in better condition than the other one, but like the whole edges here are very worn, and there's actually someone's name in the book, but at the same time, yeah, I only spent $4 on it, so it's worth $4 because it's like a really cool edition, and I do already own The Night Circus. It's like an amazing book. But I mean, between the two books, I spent like just under $9. Okay, and so I have two books here that were the two books that I actually purchased with like regular price sort of thing, kind of. But first here I have Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I'm so excited to read this book. Like the hype for this book is freaking unreal right now. It's a contemporary romance surrounding a woman who is a caretaker for a quadriplegic man who used to be like this jet-setting, cool, awesome person. But I saw it on Amazon. It was on sale for half price. It was only like $12.50 and it's normally $22. So I had to buy it because I just really was wanting to buy it. I looked at it at the library and the wait list was like 14, 15 people. Ain't nobody got time for that, so I'm definitely going to be reading this month because I want to read the book before I see the movie. But I was unfortunately spoiled for the end, which sucks, but I'm still just really pumped to read this book. Then next here, of course, we have A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas, and I absolutely freaking adored this book. Like, I like this book better than the first book, and that never happens. It's always, first book is great, second book is like meh, but this book was freaking amazing. Resend is just like bae. It makes me want to read some other Sarah J Maas stuff because I haven't read the Throne of Glass series, but I should now because this was just so fantastic and I'm just like so freaking pumped. Also, on another note, if you pre-ordered the book, you could sign up to get a tote bag, and I did, and I actually just got this in the mail the other day. So on the back it has a quote that says, "No one was my master, but I might be master of everything if I wished, if I dared." And then it's just like a picture of the front of the book. It was just cool, like a cool little thing. So now I have like this tote bag. The only thing I've used it for so far was I put my dog in it. Okay, so now we are on to my book outlet purchases. So first here we have The Invasion of the Tierling by Erica Johansson. This is the second book in the Queen of the Tierling series. I couldn't believe that I saw this on Book Outlet. So it's only like $5. To buy it new is like $31, so that's the only reason I hadn't bought it yet. But I am so excited to have this in my possession. I'm sure the story is so freaking fantastic and I'm so excited. And the third book comes out this autumn sometime, so I'm just like all kinds of pumped. So, speaking of Sarah J Maas, here I have Heir of Fire, which is the third book in the Throne of Glass series. So now I have book 3 and book 4, but so I still need to get book 1 and book 2 before I can like get into this series. Let me know, should I just like go for it and just buy the first 2 books full price, or should I wait and see if I can get them cheaper? I don't know, I'm like really conflicted about this because like a part of me is just like, oh yeah, just buy it. Just buy the first book and see how it is, blah. But yeah, so now I have book 3 and book 4, and I haven't read any of the other things. Oh. Next I have The Fifth Wave in the Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. So I originally had The Fifth Wave in paperback, but I kind of messed up my copy. It just kind of got all rolled and weird. And then I saw on the Book Outlet that both of these were for sale, and they look really pretty, and I really wanted to buy The Infinite Sea, and so I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. So I did. I have read The Fifth Wave and I did really like it. So I'm gonna read The Infinite Sea, and then I hope to read the third book that just came out. I don't remember what it's called. Like The Last Star or something? I mean, I've heard like conflicting things about book 2, but apparently book 3 is really good, so I think it'll be worth it. Woohoo, aliens. Next here we have The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, and I adore this book. Just saw it on Book Outlet and I was like, that is so freaking cute, I need it. I'm such a big fan of this book. This book is amazing, and I'm so, like, I just read it like as soon as I bought it again because it's just like one of my favorite childhood books. But like, on the topic of classics, I really want to read for the first time like the Jane Austen and Bronte sister books. So I'm thinking the next 2 classics that I want to buy are the hardcover Penguin cloth-bound edition of Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. And like I have a list in one of my journals about like the editions that I want to get because I just want to like build up my classic collection because that's something that I really love but I just really haven't been indulging lately. But yeah, classics, woo! Next here we have Born Wicked by Jessica Spotswood. This is the first book in the Cahill Witch Chronicles, and I really am not sure 100% on the plot. All I know is that it is about 3 sisters who are witches, and I don't remember the plot, like barely at all, but I looked it up on Goodreads and it has really good reviews, so that's what prompted me to purchase it on Book Outlet. But apparently there's a curse and like there's magical powers and like stuff happens, and it just seemed cool at the time, so I guess I'll probably be saving this for around like August, September-ish, and I'm just gonna go freaking ham on paranormal fantasy witchy books. Yeah. Next here we have Haze by Paula Weston, and this is the second book in the Refame series, and I was actually recommended this book by Casey Ann over at Casey Ann Books or Dark Readers. She's so right. Like, I read the first book last summer and it was just freaking phenomenal, so I just have been meaning to finish the whole series. I saw this in Book Outlet and I was like, hell yeah! So now I just need to get book 3 and book 4, which I'll probably be getting soon, but it's just like an amazing angel series with action and mystery and secret society sort of things and romance, and yeah, it's just like a really good time. And if you are looking for a new fast-paced angel story, I would 100% recommend. And last from Book Outlet, we got Far, Far Away by Tom McNeill, and this book is a Brothers Grimm sort of fairy tale retelling. However, I am actually listening to it on an audiobook right now. I'm about like 120-ish pages in, and it's so good. So we have this young boy who can hear ghosts. He can't see them, but he can hear them, and so then he has befriended the ghost of one of the brothers Grimm, and there's like this kind of curse sort of thing happening, and his life is kind of falling apart. It's quite good. I'm very surprised, and even though the cover is awful, I really dislike this cover. That's what turned me off for so long, but then I finally heard the synopsis and I was like, that sounds freaking good! Don't judge a book by its cover. But yeah, so those are all the books that I have acquired in the past 2 months, and yeah, so it's a little aggressive. I am seriously so grateful to have the opportunity to be sent these ARCs. I never thought that I would be in a position where people actually wanted to send me books to review, so it's still kind of like blowing my mind a little bit. It's just like insane to me. I'm still just like gobsmacked over the fact of this, and it's just like, I'm just so excited. Please let me know your thoughts on the books that I talked about today, because I would love to know. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching my video. My name is Sarah, and I will see you guys later.